up, everyone? Welcome back to another Timonspodcast. I'm your host, Timon. This is my podcast. I got a fun podcast ahead of us. I got to sit down with Ryan Brady, co-founder of Alliance RVs, as well as Joe Mel, head of marketing over at Alliance. First off, thank you guys for allowing me to come over there, see your facility, see the really cool culture that you've kind of just built over in Elkhart, and get a little bit of understanding of what you guys are doing. So I think you guys are going to like what this podcast has, what's in store. Just a quick note, I messed up the audio. It wasn't, well, I don't know if it was me. I'll take blame for it. But about the first 20 minutes I didn't capture. So still a good podcast. We kind of go back and hit the highlights of what we talked about at the start. But you're going to jump right into our conversation midway. Luckily, about, like I said, 20 minutes in, I realized that my equipment wasn't recording properly. And so we were able to kind of fix that. But Ryan did a great job. And so, unfortunately, you guys aren't going to be able to hear that. It's just for me. So that's just how it is. So anyways, quick business. Go check out the YouTube, Timonspodcast on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter, Timonspodcast on Twitter. And if you have any questions, timonspodcast@gmail.com. Go ahead and shoot me an email. Always looking for sponsorship, so I'll put that plug out there as well. So anyways, yeah, you guys are going to enjoy this. And again, big thank you to just the whole Alliance team for allowing me over to your guys' facilities and just to see the cool stuff that's happening over there. So, all right, without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Ryan Brady. Okay. All right, yeah, we're back. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I think I may have lost all of that, what we just talked about.
Okay.
Which is awful. I'm so sorry.
His audio? Too?
No, the whole thing. It wasn't even recording. I looked over, and it wasn't even just like recording it.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry.
All good, man. Hey, I can do it better.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, let's just run it back. So, but yeah, I guess we can just restart over.
Restart the thing.
Dude, we were rolling so
No,
well.
you're good, man.
Yeah, we'll cut this. Make it all work. But yeah, Ryan, again, thanks for coming. We got our warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess let's start with a different question.
Okay.
Then we can go back into this.
Sure.
So this is something that I've been wondering for a while, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Why is Elkhart County RV capital?
Yeah, a good question. I think my take on it, I'm sure others have different takes, but it, I don't know the exact history. I'd always heard, it was back in the 30s or 40s, and somebody had built the RV out of their garage, and kind of the industry just kind of grew up around it. But from a practical standpoint, what I'd tell you is you have an installed supplier base that's located here in Elkhart, Indiana, who are building, furniture and frames and windows and doors and, wood products. And so you have this great installed supplier base. If you think about it, if you were to start an RV manufacturer in, Oklahoma, where would you be sourcing the components to build the RV, right?
Indiana, probably.
You'd be sourced out of Indiana, and to freight that stuff to Oklahoma would cost a lot of money. So it'd put you from a cost standpoint in a tough position. So from a practical standpoint, I would tell you that is a big reason. And then number two, just the labor pool around here is just so good. I mean, the people, the skilled craftsmen that we have here in Indiana, the quality of the workforce, the work ethic. I think we have just a phenomenal work ethic. People work hard. They come to work. It's not, you hear stories, elsewhere where it's tough to, attendance, people don't show up. I mean, that's not the case here. People want to work. They take pride in their work. They're good family people. So I would say it's the supplier base and then the skilled labor force that we have here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Amish, I'm sure that's a big piece of that.
Sure. Yep.
The other thing I've been thinking about is just like the whole car industry period was in Detroit, and then they were manufacturing. I've seen a lot of car culture in this area because it started in Detroit. Like we have a lot of old classic cars rolling around.
Well, you think about Studebaker, right over in
South Bend.
Yeah, South Bend, St. Joe County.
Yeah, and so I wonder if, this, not that RV is a car, but they have similar components, and I wonder if that was another piece of why I think grew up in this area.
Could have been. And a lot of our components haven't been, offshored yet. And so again, it's all the components are domestically manufactured, and they're domestically manufactured, in and around Elkhart County.
Yeah. Do you think COVID, I think stuff was moving offshore. Do you think COVID kind of cut that and brought that back in-house?
Again, because we're not necessarily importers ourselves, but I would tell you that people certainly have reevaluated their supply chains, just because it's well documented that supply chains got severely disrupted through COVID and shipping channels and ports and congestion. And so to not have too much concentration in a given country, I think people are evaluating that. And through that evaluation, I think you're seeing some more onshoring or reshoring through that, which is, I think, is great.
You have way more control over those pieces.
Yep. Control of quality, control over the actual supply, knowing that you have a reliable place that is being built.
Yeah, I know. I think the general public had never heard supply chain until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating.
It was that was when we'd come into work during that COVID time period. That's all we talked about is supply chain and how we're getting parts to build these RVs.
I think everyone was thinking that across the board. What in 4 years, you guys have quadrupled, right? I mean, from 100 employees to 600. That's way.
We have, yeah. We've been super fortunate. We had the benefit. The industry backdrop was strong, right? Demand was definitely strong during the COVID time period. But I think more than anything, when Coley and I and the rest of our executive team, got together early on, we were really deliberate on, we want to build great RVs, right? But even more importantly for us is we want to, take care of our people and create just a killer culture where people don't feel like they're just a number, where they feel valued, where they feel communicated to. Obviously, we pay them a very fair wage.
Yeah.
But we treat them with respect. It's not a novel concept in our view, but I think too often in this,
maybe in the RV industry, in corporate America, sometimes the almighty profit is the driving force. And obviously we're a for-profit business. We got to turn a profit to keep the lights on and keep the paychecks flowing. But we want to also take care of our people. It's something that's really important to us. Yeah, I know in 2008, a lot of RV companies got consolidated. And so maybe that culture was there in companies and still is in there. I mean, once you set culture, it's hard to pull that out, but it does get changed when you have a different directive. And if you come into a corporation, I've seen my friends go from one RV company to another, and it's like they're there for the paycheck. And so it's interesting to see you guys now navigating. I think it's needed to come in, and obviously you guys are seeing the success from that, but to come in as a your own company outside of that corporation.
Yep. And it's we view it as a strategic competitive advantage that we have. I mean, we're 600 team members strong, which is we're not small, right? Yep. But relative to these other manufacturers that we compete against, we are fairly small. But what that allows us to do is, we try to stay in closer contact with our people and just to get to know them on a personal level. We do, Coley and I were in the plants, daily when we're in town. We try to address the team, at least quarterly. We do we call it a family picnic every summer where team members come out with families. We'll get bounce houses and face painters and get some Nelson's
that's good stuff.
Food catered in. And, again, it's just the little things that, it's not one thing in and of himself, but it's those little things that add up. Something we're really proud of. We launched a 401k match, within really the first 6 months of the company's inception. Wow. That was something that was important to us is, these RV laborers make a really good wage. And that's part of the reason why, the workforce is as strong as it is, because people move here for these jobs.
Yeah. And you can make a good wage without an education. That's the crazy part. With the Amish, that's another piece of the Amish, right? 8th grade education they can make.
Mm-hmm. And so we wanted these people they're making a great wage. We all know it's easy to, with credit cards to overspend, but we want them to, think for the future.
Yeah.
It's easy to live in the moment, but let's think about the future and make sure you're putting some aside for retirement.
Yeah. That's awesome. Joe gave me a little tour of the plant and stuff, and one of the things that he showed me was that kind of your creed, your mission statement.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And then the kind of the three things that
the core values.
The core values.
Yeah. So the mission statements do the right thing. So it's it's simple by design, but it's we call it that's our guiding principle, right? That's we everything we the decisions that we make, how we treat whether it's a vendor, a dealer, a customer, that's kind of the guiding principle. Just do the right thing. It's not overly complicated, but it's a pretty powerful statement too when you think about it.
It is, yeah.
And then the core values that we try to live by, relentless improvement. In the RV industry, these are handcrafted RVs. There's always opportunities to get better. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. We're always looking to improve. We don't have it figured out. We're certainly not perfect, but we're relentlessly trying to improve. We're customer obsessed. That's another core value of ours. And obviously the end retail, customer is the customer, but we have a lot of customers. I argue our team members are a customer, our vendors are a customer, our community is a customer, and so we're customer obsessed with trying to take care of all of our customers, particularly our end retail customer.
Yeah.
And then we're devoted to relationships. That kind of was the impetus for the Alliance name, but we're relationship driven, whether it's our dealer partners, our supplier partners, our allies out in the field, which our allies are. I'm talking like what that is, but yeah. Our customers
who have joined your team,
who have joined the Alliance family, have bought an Alliance rig.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know who came up with the name, but they started calling themselves allies.
That's so cool.
So yeah, we're those are the core values: relentless improvement, devoted to relationships, and customer obsessed.
Wow, that's so countercultural than other RV companies.
Yeah,
it is just that's so cool.
It is cool, and it's cultures. It's where we focus a lot of time on, because at the end of the day, I'm just one person. Joe's just one person. It's a collection of people, right? That's what drives business. And when you have good people driving the company, good things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you put those people in a position, again, where they feel valued, where they feel appreciated, where you're putting them in an environment where they can succeed, chances are they're going to.
Yeah. Well, and even when you're telling the origin story, which may not be on the audio, but that's what you took from that pool of people, mm-hmm. and you were listening and you were understanding, and it sounds like that got pulled right into your mission statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got caught.
Oh. Give me a second. There's nothing I can do for that.
We need water.
I got Jeremiah's gunk.
Ooh, there you go.
No.
Yeah, that's how we approach our design. Is product design is we describe it as crowdsourcing. We listen for consumer feedback. We're really deliberate when we approach product design, and our view is that a lot of people kind of guess on content and features and floor plans, and we put it out to RVers to basically enlighten us.
Crowdsourcing.
Yeah, what do you guys want? What does this make sense? What do you think of this concept? Do you think this would work? Would this be something that would interest you?
Are you doing that through Facebook typically, or what's?
Yeah, a lot of it's through Facebook. So I'll shamelessly plug. It's Alliance RV Group is our Facebook page. I think we're up to 24,000 members on it.
That's awesome.
And so we'll literally put engineering, renderings of a floor plan and allow the community to kind of, pick it apart really. Or I remember early on, I mentioned, I don't know if it got picked up in the audio, but we did a poll on a kitchen sink. Do people want a single bowl basin sink or a partition, divided double bowl sink? That was just one example. We literally did a poll and the votes came in. It was 66% wanted the single bowl.
Oh, wow.
Guess what? We went with the single bowl.
Yeah.
So it was little things like that. And then our most recent product, our Delta travel trailer, which we're launching this summer, we took that same approach to it and did focus groups. We had one of our big retail shows down in Tampa. We invited customers to attend kind of a little seminar that our product manager led. That was just, again, trying to solicit feedback on. We tried to solicit feedback from current owners of travel trailers. So that Delta product is going to be a travel trailer.
Gotcha.
Solicit feedback on what they liked about their current RVs and what they would like to see if they could redo their existing one.
Yeah. And that was helpful for you then to plug that into.
Absolutely. Yeah. And through that process, I mean, you kind of have to filter through it all, right? But if you start to see a theme develop, like if you know, you hear over and over, like, hey, it'd be kind of cool if the awning had a switch on the outside. Okay, let's think about that. Maybe we can solve that. You know, so you don't have to go back into your camper to extend your awning. Maybe you can put the awning out from the outside. You know, that's just a little sneak peek there. By the way,
I love that. Yeah,
but little things like that we picked up through talking to customers.
that's really cool. Do you see a lot more growth in like the social media side of connecting with like is that a big emphasis on things you guys are
I think so. Yeah, we want to be connected, and I think early on we'd focused really on the Facebook social media channel, and so we're trying to diversify away from that. Obviously, you know, the younger generation may not be as inclined to Facebook, and they're more Instagram, and you know, we're starting to do LinkedIn. Joe's doing a great job with getting exposure onto other channels as well.
Yeah, you got to hit it just across the board. Yeah,
across the board.
Joe showed me the TikTok of the rapper and the floor plan. That was cool. That was really cool to see some of that stuff. So, yeah, you got a good marketing guy.
We do. We are fortunate that he came on board. He's awesome.
Biased, but
he's a stud. He is a stud.
That's very cool. Joe mentioned that you and your brother are big into the involved in the community.
Yes,
a lot of like philanthropy things like that.
Yeah, we try to give back, and you know, we were born and raised around here. We you know, we don't just work with our team members, but we see them out, you know, at the grocery store or at restaurants, and you know, we've been fortunate and blessed, and I think it's important to, you know, pay it back a little bit where you can, whether it's through time or, you know, financially, if it makes sense. But yeah, no, it's something that's important to us. I think that's
such a huge thing. A lot of times we're worried about ourselves and family, and that's great to worry about that. But then you got to remember the community that allows you to build to where you're at.
Yep.
It's you want the next generation to have those same opportunities.
No question. It's part of what has made this and will continue to make this community great is it's always been supported by, you know, business leaders, and hopefully we can do our small part to continue that tradition.
Yeah. So you're born and raised in Elkhart?
Yeah, born and raised. Grew up here in Elkhart, Indiana. I went to Notre Dame, went to high school here, went to Notre Dame undergrad, ventured off to the East Coast for a couple of years, then lived in Chicago, and then moved back here to Elkhart in 2010.
Wow. So right after the big.
Yeah, right after it. Yep.
That's
right after the big
huge shift.
09. Yeah.
Did you come back into RVs at that time?
I got into RVs. Yep.
Wow.
2010. I joined Heartland RV. Yes.
Yeah. Was that interesting? Because did you grow up around RV?
Oh yeah, I had summer jobs in the factories, and I had one job. I worked for a plastic supplier one summer. Yeah, it's hard not to. I mean, Joe, anybody who lives, as you know, in Elkhart County,
they pay well too.
They pay well, and they hire in the summer, which is great for a high school kid.
Yeah. Did you see a huge shift when you had come back? Things kind of changing, or
no, I wouldn't say so. You know, again, the product obviously evolves. RVs evolve significantly, but I think the quality folks that, you know, come through the doors every day, that hasn't changed at all.
Yeah. Where do you see Alliance in like 5 years?
Yeah, great question. We've been fortunate. We've enjoyed some success, and I think, you know, we want to grow. You know, we're going to be very deliberate in our growth. But as we grow, we're going to stay true to our mission. You know, we're going to not lose sight of what got us to where we're at now. And I think that's building great, really well thought out RVs that resonate with customers. And then, you know, standing behind those RVs with great service, right? It's not lost on us. These are big investments that our allies are making into their RVs and to us as a company. And, you know, we want to provide that level of ownership experience that they can't get from other manufacturers. And then, you know, taking care of our team members. You know, we're going to continue to grow, continue to add to the team, but we're going to continue to, you know, foster that culture where people feel proud. We want people when they go home and they tell their children, hey, you know, I work for Alliance RV. We want them to be proud of that.
Yeah, you want to be allies.
Absolutely,
I love that.
Yes, sure.
That's cool. I know one of the beautiful things about, RVing in general, but the infrastructure is built here. like we have the parks, we have all that stuff, and I know globally that's starting to happen as well. Do you see like the RV industry starting to ship more internationally?
A little bit. I'm not as close to I know Australia has a decent installed base of RVs. I think I could butcher the numbers, but I think as an industry, maybe over the last 10 years, we average approximately 400,000 RVs annually produced. And I think the number I heard for Australia was 25,000. So that's not insignificant.
Yeah.
Europe, obviously Thor has Thor has a European division. So, caravanning, which is what RVs are called over there, is pretty big. Canada is a really big market for us. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it expands into Mexico and South America and into Asia. Obviously, that's a huge population center. And maybe what's not to like though about RVing, right?
Yeah.
When you think about it, especially with the evolution of screens and technology, and
you can get internet anywhere.
You can get internet anywhere, but it's a great way to unplug, right? You want your kids to get off the screen, so to speak, and go enjoy the outdoors and explore and kind of live in the moment. I think it's a great lifestyle choice.
Such a huge thing. I feel like a kid will never forget a vacation. Like I have those memories locked, and my parents were great parents. I had a great time all the time, but vacations are like.
Yeah, I think through the COVID years, I think one thing we've learned, experiences matter more than purchasing goods per se, right? Yeah. I think kids, to your point, value the. They don't necessarily need the new bike, but take them camping, and I think that'll be more meaningful in their development.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I love what you guys are doing here. It's
so
cool.
We're fortunate. We got a heck of a team here, and we're going to continue to stay true to what's gotten us here, and keep building great RVs and stand behind them.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I know you. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah.
You want to just give one more time of how you guys built it?
Yeah.
So that way we have that.
Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Exactly, like word for word what you did prior to that. It was so good the first time. I feel so. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. You started in that beige building.
So we 2019. Coley and I came from Heartland. My brother Coley and I came from Heartland RV, and it wasn't necessarily a seminal moment that put us over the hump of wanting to branch out on our own. We had lived through consolidation. Heartland went to a larger publicly traded organization, and we never say anything bad about where we came from. We respect our competition and our former employer a lot. We're still friends with a lot of the folks over there, but we thought there was an opportunity just to take a step back and do things a little differently, become an independent manufacturer. There's advantages to being big, and there's advantages to being small. And so we wanted to leverage some of the advantages of being small. And through that process, that's really how that crowdsourcing, came out. We thought by, taking a step back and being a little more deliberate with our product design, by listening to consumers, to incorporating, feedback, addressing some of the pain points that RVers had with their rigs, that could improve, the ownership experience. And we thought, being small, we could, develop a better culture for our team members. And then, we thought, again, by being small, we could build great RVs, and it would be easier to provide, a great ownership experience through outstanding customer service. So that was kind of the impetus for saying, okay, let's go ahead and do this. And we were able to find some land, and so we set off and constructed a new building. And in the meantime, we had bought this old dumpy industrial Elkhart building. It was built in the 60s. I think before we'd moved in, it was a metal fabrication building. So just an old, kind of building, dingy building. And, I was telling someone the other day, it was a small office. We had 7 guys jammed into it. Our head of engineering, our lead production manager, Cole and myself, Bill Martin, who heads up our social media and aftermarket service. We were jammed into this office, and we had the whiteboard. It was kind of that classic, obviously we're not a Silicon Valley company, but we were kind of living that startup stuff that you see in movies. And I tell people I wouldn't trade that first 6 months for anything. It was there were some tough moments along the way and disagreements amongst the team, but that's what made us strong. And great memories in that building. Alliance will never part with that building. Hopefully, one day it can be like a museum or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, some great memories out of there.
That's awesome, dude. So you and your brother, did you get like a small team together? Is that how that started?
Yeah, we did. I mean, it was over because when you're a startup, right? You don't have the funds to bring in a huge team.
Yeah.
We were fortunate. We teamed up with Bill Martin early on. He was team member number one, and then we slowly grew from there. And so we kind of sequenced in the adding of team members as the business could support it. So obviously you need an engineer, you need a production manager. So we brought them in, and then slowly grew from there.
Yeah, and I bet they were excited to be on like the ground floor.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the attraction of there's anytime you make a change career wise, there's always going to be uncertainty, but I think those people also saw the opportunity and with anything you do, you want to be, you got to take care of your family, you got to pay the bills, right? But you want to be, personally fulfilled too. And I think, growing, a company and being, involved in something from kind of startup, and I still consider we're still startup phase.
Yeah.
And I think people feel professionally and personally rewarded, being involved in this.
Yeah. Well, I love this, the flexibility you guys have. When we were walking through the plant, Joe was showing me the quality control.
Yep.
Different things. And you have a very heavy emphasis on that.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
I think that's great. I've never been, I grew up in this area, so I've been around it all the time. And I have friends who've worked there. I have family members who've worked and I just hear horror stories about, I have a friend who worked in a warranty department for one of the RV companies, and just the stories she would tell me of the things that, like, just a quick little check would have changed this customer's life.
Yeah, we're one of the core values is relentless improvement. We're not perfect, but we try to work together as a team and kind of tear down some of the walls that exist that can exist in any company in America, right? Yeah. And we try to make it more personal too. And so we host a rally every year. It's coming up in May at the Elkhart County 4-H campground.
Cool. And
our team members will go out there and work on the rigs. We have plant tours pretty much daily that are going through our plants, and we encourage our team members to join our social media platform so they see the end customer, the allies out in the field, so that they realize they're building an RV for someone like them, right? They're building someone's dream, someone's investment that they've worked hard to earn. Yeah. And I think by making it more real for them, they even though they might work in the offline slide out department, putting together a balance or installing a window in a slide out, it's not just doing that. They're building an RV, they're building someone's dream, and they should take pride in it because it's pretty awesome what they're doing.
You see where the end product's going.
Yes. Makes it more personal for them, makes it more real.
It's not a number.
Not a number.
That is. I think even your allies, right, feel like allies. They feel like humans.
I think they feel a part of a community.
Yeah.
That's what's one of the, we had no idea that would happen, right? That this community would develop around our company, and it's cool. bigger than us, bigger than anyone, but it's pretty cool.
On community, coming from a competitor to here, my very first show was the Tampa show. So we flew down to Tampa, and debatable if it's the largest RV show in the country. Yeah. There were over 100 volunteer owners.
Wow.
That purchased at previous shows. Is that my GoPro?
Yeah.
You could just shut off.
Okay.
You could just let it go.
Yeah. It's just on me anyways.
You and your tech,
we're gonna scrap that footage.
Guys. Yeah. But over 100 volunteer owners.
Wow.
And coming from where I was to that was mind blowing to me.
Wow.
Because I'm used to dealing with it on the social media side, like Bill and them did, where it's just constant, you're always handling it on the social side.
Yeah.
But having them there helping was...
That's crazy.
Nuts. Yeah. Unheard of in my world.
Well, when we released registration for the rally that I just talked about, so I think the campground holds about 300 rigs or 300 campsites it sold out within 24 hours. Crashed the website 3 times. Right? I mean,
that's crazy. Yeah.
We Taylor Swifted it.
Yeah, I was going to say Taylor Swift did it. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's cool. I mean, you see it, you hear, I mean, people are, their social communities are kind of, their friends or other allies, and it's pretty neat to see it.
Well,
what's occurring out there.
You deliver a good product, RVers are going to be talking to each other.
Absolutely.
And their frustration is there. I've heard it in that community. So it's cool that they're
positive and negative.
Positive.
Yeah, we call it the campfire talk, and that's Joe obviously does a great job marketing, but our best marketers are our allies.
Oh, 100%.
I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
If our if we if we take care of our customers, we know they're going to go to the campgrounds, and when somebody's going to ultimately ask, hey, what do you think of Alliance? How's that paradigm? How's that avenue that you have? And we want them to speak honestly and tell them how their experience has been.
Yeah. That's so cool. Do you ever see you shifting away from towables?
I don't think so. I think we're
that's where your lane is for right now.
We don't aspire to be the biggest. We just want to be
you don't want a helicopter to land on.
No, we just want to be really.
You don't want a boat in the back.
Nope. No. We want to be really good at what we do, and that's fifth wheel. We're going to get into travel trailers, so we're going to enter that market, but we're going to stay in that towable category.
That's so cool. Very cool. Well, do you have any questions, Joe?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. This has been fun.
So much. Yeah, this has been great. So appreciate it. Yeah, well, give it people where they can find it. It was the Facebook group, but just plug who you guys are, where you can get stuff.
That was one of the initiatives they kind of brought me on for, was to expand the social reach.
Yeah.
Did a great job dialing in the Facebook group. So it's the Alliance RV group.
Okay.
If you get on Facebook and check it out. And then we actually created a splash page called jointhealliance.com, where no matter what platform you use, if you only use 1 or 2 or 5, we have all of them, and they're all linked there. And we're active on all of them, and we're curating content based on the platform.
Cool. When are you guys going to have a podcast?
But soon. I think Joe's working on that.
Yeah. I've been hitting on it hard.
You got a good radio voice.
Maybe you can help us. You know a thing or two about podcasting.
Just a little. Ryan, you got a good radio voice.
We are fortunate. We got a stud here.
No, you have a good radio voice.
Yeah.
Oh, radio voice.
Yeah, you got a good.
I thought it was a nasally voice.
And you have the face to go.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. So video, camera, and radio.
Explode for sure. So.
I just have a face.
Ryan, thank you so much. Thanks for allowing me to come.
Appreciate you coming in,
recording this. So
right on.
All right. Catch you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you. Cool.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck.